Hello, Onion Practice, Vermont edition. Some of you who have been chanting with me for a while might remember Priestess Heather, and we are at her beautiful home in Vermont. Heather and I have known each other since before we knew our partners. We've been magical sisters together for almost 20 years. And this year, she and her wife are celebrating 10 years married, and Albert and I are celebrating 10 years married. So Albert and I have come out here to be part of their 10-year vows renewal this weekend, and we're so excited about it. And we're here in Heather and Medade's beautiful pollinator garden. We have tucked little lavender in our hair, and there's all kinds of different herbs and flowers here for pollinators. Heather and Medade have created a beautiful pollinator sanctuary here. They participate in the annual Audubon bird count. They nurture monarch caterpillars into, the caterpillars that become butterflies, and they tend the earth in a beautiful, sacred way. So thank you for having us here.
Thank you.
And Heather's been part of the temple. She's a priestess in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple, and she is a scholar, and she is a nurse, and she is just an all-around amazing being. So it's so exciting to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're in our month of Baba Yaga, and it's the last week. Like this week and next week are the last few days of Baba Yaga in our practice. On the 29th, I start my Baba Yaga class. I have 4 spaces left in that class. So if you've been thinking about taking it, they're filling up, the spots are filling up pretty quickly, and we start on July 29th. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to mountshastagaddesstemple.com and just scroll down till you see the mushroom. Hi, Marvell. Good to see you. Hi, Paris. Good to see you. Hi. I think Lenny was here. It's good to see you too, Lenny. So let's get into our Baba Yaga honoring. We're working this month with the Witch deck by Angie Sullins and art by Silas Tobal. And when I was with Linda and Josh last week, or the other day, earlier this week, they were sharing that this deck was originally a Kickstarter, which I had not known. So it's a limited edition kind of a thing. So I'm glad we're using it this year for Baba Yaga. All right, so it's not hard where you're in such a place of nature and beauty and herbs to conjure Baba Yaga's energy, the sacred energy of the overgrown, the sacred energy of the healing, the medicines. And so let's open with our chant to Baba Yaga. Crone mother, bone mother, healer, seer, witch, secret keeper, screech owl, mighty wolf, bitch, Baba Yaga, bright dawn, Baba Yaga, red sun, Baba Yaga, midnight, Baba Yaga, black sky, woman, keep me safe within your sight, keep me on the path of right. And wow, this is interesting. I'm going to just go ahead and pick it, because when I went to go pick the card of the day, one card was mysteriously turned upward, and it's a card that we had earlier this month, but I didn't know it was turned upward, so we're going to pick it. The Songstress. And it shows a woman with a harp sitting on the moon. Number 11. Let's see. What's the wisdom of the songstress? When was the last time you had a conversation with the moon, or made music for the night sky, sang songs to the stars? When was the last time you showed up fully just as you are and offered your voice to the universe, which incidentally means one song? So many of us let the idea of perfect get in the way of good. This is the key message, I feel. We refuse to make an offering of our art, music, service, ideas, mission, or soul craft because we feel we aren't yet polished enough, accomplished enough, educated, experienced, or professional enough. Or we're too much, too old, too late, too unoriginal. Too much and not enough steal time and lives. Somewhere along the way, we let perfect in the door, and it robs us of our passions and our offerings. But a witch knows she is part earth and part sky. There are moonbeams in her veins and bird song in her soul. She, like the moon, can show up with a single sliver of herself and still shine. She honors the birds that sing down the moon and sing up the sun, knowing that they don't sing because they're professional or trained. They sing because they have a song. Now is the time to let go of expectations and the demands of perfection and offer yourself up in this moment, regardless of how much or how little you have. Show up, sing, shine. The world needs you as you are.
Beautiful.
This is so perfect to
We
our
were just talking about that yesterday.
our conversation. We were just saying, and actually maybe some of you will resonate with this, that, you know, a lot of times we, especially women of our generation, feel like we have to be perfect or like it has to be flawless, or we start to second guess ourselves about what it is that we're offering. And we were talking yesterday, I'll just give you a tip off. Heather's designing an oracle deck. I won't get into more of it, but she was saying how she's been creating this deck and she got herself twisted around a concept and was like, well, is it really that, or is it something else? And then was like, wait a minute, I'm writing it. I get to say what it is. And I certainly know what that feels like, to be like, well, I'm actually the one creating this. I get to say, but we forget. I forget. And we judge ourselves against standards that might not actually apply to us. So tell me, what are your thoughts? Any thoughts you have on this perfection getting in the way of good?
Well, I think it happens to me a lot. If you tend to be a perfectionist earth sign person, that's certainly me. And the interesting thing is, I think we worry about maybe being judged by others, but usually magic women, I feel people usually think we're amazing.
Yeah.
And they may not say, but they usually do. And then
That's right.
sometimes people say it and you're like, oh, do you really think that? And they're like, because we just live a different life of,
right,
of beauty and whatnot. And I think, and we bring that to the world, but I think that we need to I agree completely with this. And I heard this one earlier this month and I resonated with it as well. So I'm glad we got it again because it is
in your yard.
Yes, in my yard.
In your songbird haven.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes.
And just then a bird made that big noise just above us. It's like, oh, okay, yes, heard and witnessed.
Yes. And I also love singing. This is something I've learned to do in the last few months, is singing to the earth. And whether it's sorrow or whether it's beauty or whatever it is, but actually vocalizing that as a song. It doesn't need to have words. It can just be vocalizing and toning and whatever comes from you. Kind of like we would do a ma, that kind of thing, whatever you feel at the time. And the earth loves it. And when I do it, I think it's really magical and powerful, and and it kind of lifts you up and lifts the earth up to you. And just that. Yeah, because
and it's almost like
musical.
It's almost like you're singing with the earth. You're singing to the earth, but you're singing with the earth, because as you're singing, the earth is also adapting. The number of times I've been outside chanting and birds start chanting with me, where I hear them. The other day, you heard it when I was in my mom's garden. It was before we had all the rain, but when I was in my mom's garden, I was chanting and I just heard all these birds singing, and you put little musical notes, it was so magical, and it is magical. And I love what you said about how as magic women, we show up and people don't see. We might be like, oh, the strap of my sandal is a little worn through, and oh, I feel like I wanted to have all these songs I'm going to sing printed out on a paper or whatever, and people are just like, you're the most unique magical being I've encountered all day, maybe all month, and I'm just so glad to get to do this with you. And we forget that. Paris says, good God, is this message loud and clear? Thank you. Yeah, Paris, definitely. another magic woman
Yes.
who's out there as a creatrix, just doing it. And Marvel, everyone here on the thread, we're out here doing our creativity, and it's the act of daring to do the creativity that makes it enough. Because how many people think about doing something creative and then just don't?
Right.
And so then we lose art, we lose music, we lose the potential. Paris says, "What a lovely conversation. You two are so beautiful." Oh, thank you. Well, you too, Paris. We love you. All right. So with that, let's get into our practice today. And particularly, let's lift our voices and chant with the birds, and let's allow ourselves the space of creativity to really honor our path, whatever it is. And in fact, let's take the chanting today and direct it toward the places in ourselves that are kind of tender with not enoughness, that hurt because of not enoughness. And then we're just going to apply that balm of chanting there. The other person we're holding in our practice today is Keith, who has been caring for his mom with Alzheimer's for many years, and she passed last week, and they laid her to rest yesterday. And today is the first day in his entire life that Keith is waking up with no mother and nothing that he has to do to care for her or anything. So that's a hard day to wake up and feel that void. So we're going to send this into that energy. All right, so let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention for those wounded creative spaces in ourselves, and also for Keith David Hummel and what this day is like for him. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. So 108 recitations. We're gonna we should light candle. Yes, we have offerings. Yes. So I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Xiyin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Here, and come a little this way. Then I have you. Then we're both in it. Okay. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. And now 108 recitations of Namo Guanxin Pusa, awakening that tenderness and compassion of Guanyin for our own beautiful, imperfect creations. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. 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 Nashi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi 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 Yin Pusa. And we'll do the prayer for the Mani reciter of Kam by Gyaltse Tokme Zangpo. Lama Dankun Suksum Lakchaksa Lo Dakni Changchuk Nimpur Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kepa Dedang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Chetsin Shing Gusim Gewe Chila Chipar Sho Jamdang Ningje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Duljar Yerpa Nam Lame Changchu Chola Gope Chir Tuje Champo Trinle Je Par Sho. Homage to the Guru in 3 jewels. From now until I reach the essence of awakening, no matter where I may be reborn in those places, may I always follow the great compassionate one and dedicate my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Inspired by loving kindness and great compassion, in order to lead all Mahakarunika's followers to supreme and unsurpassable awakening, may I carry out the great compassionate one's activity. Lama Dankun Suksum Lakchaksa Lo Dakni Changchuk Nimpur Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kepa Dedang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Jedzin Shing Gusum Gewe Chila Chipar Sho Jamjang Ningje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Duljar Girpa Nam Lame Changchuk Chola Gope Chir Tuje Champo Trinle Je Par Sho. And now we'll do 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending that tender energy to our creative selves and also out to Keith, who is waking up with a hole in his heart today. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of supreme bliss, Yeshe Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome, and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxian Pusa. And we close with our bow to Guanyin, a bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. I love chanting with you every time we do this. It's always like, oh, we did this in another life.
Yeah.
This is just like settling back into it. Well, everybody, happy Friday. I hope that all good things emerge from your meditation this week and weekend on how you can be more tender with your creative self and less judgmental of your creations.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is time for us to go. We're going to go visit. This is so interesting. Priestess Linda took me to the National Grotto Shrine of Our Lady of Lourdes. And today, Heather and I are going to another shrine of Our Lady of Lourdes on Ilamat here. So tell me what you think that means. I feel like Lourdes is like all over me right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to go find out what that's about. All right. See you later, everybody. Have a great weekend. And I'll be back probably like next Wednesday or Thursday because I'm traveling next week. Okay. Bye now.
Bye. Yay!